See, if I say 10, you're going to say, nah, can't be a 10. But I think work-wise, he was in the 8, 7, and 8. And the only reason I wouldn't say anything like that because there were times when he might rush, and there were times when he might get a little excited. But that everybody does, no matter who you are. When you first start or you're still in that stage, we all rush, and he was guilty of it just like everybody else. But he would calm down too. So I would definitely give him a high 8. On a score from 1 to 10. Let's clarify that.
How about the intangibles, charisma, character?
Oh, for Christ's sake, that's definitely a 10. I've seen him talk to people. I've seen him be gracious with people, take his time, and because he understood when they met Shane McMahon, they couldn't help but walk away impressed because he was genuine, and he's one of those people when he speaks to you who makes you feel like you were the only person that matters at that day or at that time in the world. You know what I mean? He's one of those people that can make you feel like he is paying attention to you, and he is, and he's engaged in the conversation. And I've seen other people who don't. So Shane was talented in that respect too.
What about overall? What would you give him out of 10?
Overall is work rate, charisma, personal.
Yep, everything.
I'm going to give the guy a 10, and I'll tell you why. He didn't have to be a nice guy. He really didn't have to. I've known plenty of guys in this business who aren't nice guys. But in his station in life, his position in the company, he could have very well have been a spoiled, rotten teenager and a spoiled, rotten brat. But he wasn't. I think that's a lot to do with the way he was raised, and I think it's a lot to do with the way he perceived the business, and he knew there was a lot more to it than he realized growing up. And once he got to the point where he could start refereeing, getting in the ring, I found out that while it is fun, it's still a business. And the famous story is he went to Vince and asked for a raise, and Vince said no, and Shane quit and proved he could do anything he put his mind to. It didn't have to be in wrestling, but he loved wrestling. He loved the business, but at the same time, he quit for his principles. He believed in what he believed in, and Vince didn't want to give him a raise, so he quit. And he earned Vince's respect because he eventually did come back. It's a family business, but he didn't. He felt he should be given a raise. Boom. Wasn't being an asshole about it, but what's right is right in his mind. And eventually it was worked out. He came back, and I admire his character, I admire his conviction and what he believes in. So overall, as a person, by God, for me, he gets a 10.
Was that the reason he left, or did he really want to kind of pursue other things as well? Or that was the main reason?
Well, no, this was when he was a kid when he asked for the raise.
Oh, okay.
This was when he was refereeing. No, this is far beyond or far before he was an executive. No, you would have to ask him the reason he left. But Shane believes strongly in his convictions. He believes. I don't think he would stick around if he didn't think it was the right thing to do. And obviously he didn't at one time, but there were many times when during the Attitude Era, I guess, things would get very, very hectic. And you have to ask yourself, why are you going on the road and why are you putting yourself through this? Well, the only answer is because this is what I want to do, and this is where I feel I'm going to be the best at, and he did.
What do you think the relationship was like with Shane and Vince?
I think it was probably like any relationship with an alpha male and another alpha male right behind you. I think growing up with Vince would be difficult just for the fact that everybody at school knew who you were, knew who your parents were, and you had to listen to so much crap on a daily basis. But I think that molded Shane into who he is, and I also think Vince was a pretty good dad. From all I've heard, from all the accounts I've heard with both in regards to Shane and Stephanie, that Vince was a pretty good dad. He could be stern, he could be hard, but he could be loving. And it's one of those things that, again, I'm not speaking that telling stories that I was there for, but these are stories that have been told before. Where Shane, Vince had a habit of pushing people in the pool when they would come over for booking meetings or whatever, just whatever. And Vince's deal was, try and get him in the pool. Well, one day Shane got Vince in the pool, and he took off running, and he wasn't going to come home. And Vince is working the program the whole time, like, boy, he's hot and all this stuff. But that was the lifestyle. That was who your dad was Vince McMahon, and I think anyone would look at that as some pretty big shoes to fill, but I'm almost certain Shane was more than willing and ready to wear his own shoes and make his own way, no matter what it was.